Hey guys, press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update from Pinkvilla.
Hi everyone, this is Deepika Padukone and thank you all for tuning in. A big hello to all of you and thank you so much for all the love and appreciation and the blessings for Padmavati, and I hope all of you have watched it, and if you haven't, you can still go and buy another ticket. I think extremely overwhelmed. You know, I think we've been through so much as far as this film is concerned, and so many months of effort and, you know, hard work and just so much passion that we've poured into this film, that it feels nice to see that the film has finally released, and the fact that the audience has sort of it's almost as if they're, you know, the audience is owning the film now, and to see the kind of love and appreciation and blessings, most importantly, you know, it is very, very overwhelming at this point. Well, I'm not going to deny that it's definitely a great feeling. Having said that, I must say that I never set out to do any of the films that I did with that intention. It was never to set any kind of record or to prove anything to anyone but myself. The intent always was to just have fun with the characters that I'm playing, and to enjoy the experience of bringing these characters to life, and also to experience the working experience and relationship with different directors that I've had, to trust them completely with the kind of films that I've done, with the kind of characters that I've created. And the intention has always only been that, and I'm so happy that in the process of being honest to that, it has paid off, in so many ways. And yeah, they were extremely overwhelmed. My parents FaceTimed me as soon as, they had a screening in Bangalore. They FaceTimed me as soon as it was over, and as soon as the connection was okay and I could see their face, I will never forget that moment where I saw them and I could just see, the pride and the joy on their faces. It's a moment that will be etched in my memory forever. I think the relationship that I share with him is very, very special, and it's very unique. We share a sort of relationship where we don't need to say much to each other. There doesn't have to be too many exchange of words. It's almost like we can look at each other and understand what the other person is trying to say or communicate. There are days when I used to walk onto set and I could just give him, both of us would just hug each other, and we both understand each other so well without really saying too much. And I think that's a really, that's a very, very special place to be. It's a very special actor-director relationship. And it's almost like there's a soul connection in some sense. Just so much going on in my mind at that point about what women might have gone through in that era when, when such rituals were practiced. And but at the same time, it just felt like such a powerful moment in so many ways, to see this one woman with so much courage and power and dignity, leading thousands of women. So of course, I'm not saying that I'm celebrating the act itself, but I think in some sense we should celebrate the spirit of it, the spirit of Padmavati, her spirit of being feisty and extremely fearless. And she did all of that, and the fact that she had the ability to lead, she had the ability to have people look up to her when when they needed that sort of figure to look up to. So just the courage and her power and her strength, and most importantly, I think her dignity. I don't think it's going to leave me for a very, very long time, let's put it that way. I think even the performance came from a very special place, and there are characters, like I've said earlier, that just don't leave your system for a very long time, and I think this is definitely one of those. I hope so. I really hope so. That's actually what my family is always telling me. My sister especially, and my mother, they're always like, do you have to die in every film? So yes, I hope that whatever film Ranveer and I do next, that we don't end our lives in the way that we have, and also maybe a less emotionally draining film, something just lighter on the heart and on the emotion part of it. I'm going to use this as an opportunity to to go back to being a student in so many ways, because I feel like I'm going to learn so much just from this. I mean, of course, I learn with every film experience. I learn so much, but I think it's it'll be time for me to really stay very, very focused and imbibe and learn from Irfan and from Vishal sir. But it's also going to be a lot of fun. They both they both have an amazing sense of humor. I don't know if the atmosphere will allow for that, but I do know that in our downtime, we'll have a good time as well. Not at the moment, actually. This is just the one film that in fact, I've been living with this character again for almost 2 years now. It's a film that Vishal sir had given me the book almost 2 years ago, and he wanted me to read that chapter. I read the whole book, of course I read that chapter. It stayed with me. I went back to him saying that I was excited to do this film. At that point, he kind of moved on and was doing something else. It changed hands a couple of times. Somebody else was meant to direct it, and then I think destiny just had a role to play in it, and he's come back. And the fact that Irfan sir and I are going to be working together again, I'm so excited about that. Other than the brilliant actor that he is, and all of us, we see that, but he's also such an amazing human being. It is going to be very, very special. I don't know, I think it would be difficult to summarize it all, but just in a gist, I think I could say that it's been an incredible journey. I've got to learn so much. I've had such amazing experiences. I think also being an actor allows you to travel so much. It allows you to explore places that I probably would never have done on my own. I've gotten to meet such amazing people. When you play certain characters, it also gives you a lot of insight into yourself and your life. It makes you a better human being. And the fact that I've also been able to play with such amazing characters, be so many different people that I probably am not in my own, in my own life. But cinema allows me to be so many different people that I'm not, and it can give you a completely different sort of high. The love from fans, the fact that after a point it reaches a place where it's beyond just the films that you do and beyond just the characters that you play, and your fans are actually with you on the journey of life. I'm most grateful for that. I mean, it reminds me of a quote by Yves Saint Laurent, that fashion is temporary but style is permanent. And so fashion per se has never really meant anything to me. And I think we have professionals in the business who do what they do. Style for me is more important because I think that's where your sense of individuality comes out. And I think that's where you can also be comfortable in what you wear. If I was only going by fashion trends, I would probably not be comfortable. But I think the art of being able to mix fashion and my own personal style, to be comfortable in what I wear, I think that's where, you know, the style kicks in. How do I differentiate myself from what, you know, somebody else's personality? And I think it's also another amazing way of just expressing yourself, you know, as artists. Of course, the films that we do, the characters that we play, that's one way of expressing yourself, but also in the clothes that you wear your personality, and I find that so fascinating. So if you like this interview, like, share and subscribe to Pinkvilla.